Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got our second match of 6 coming up here. We've got TongFu versus HGT Game 2 in this Best of 2 series. Now, we've been switching mics all over the place, been having some tech issues here, and hopefully I tried to rebalance the audio best I could. And oh, wow, they're interviewing PPD. Man, he's looking sharp. Looking sharp. So, what's up, guys? Zayori solo casting here, TongFu HGT. Thank you for joining us for WPC Ace coverage. Let's hop right into the draft. So we're taking it easy here on this stream, guys. This is the tertiary BTS stream tonight. We've got Star Ladder rolling, of course, at the live LAN event in Kiev. Gods is casting the inaugural on BTS 1. We sounded good rolling. Everything all... Jesus, dude. So we're looking good here. Feeling good. This is... our WPC coverage, and we've got a lot of games coming up after this as well. So thank you for joining me here. You'll be slated to deal with my solo casting, but it's all in good fun. And I do have the Star Ladder stream open on one of our other computers here, so feel free to talk about Star Ladder in chat. Use that multitwitch.tv if you're watching multiple streams. No hard feelings. As long as it's BTS, I am happy. And Roland's giving me a thumbs up. Roland's just having a good day. He's got his multi-Twitch open. He's listening to me, watching Star Ladder. It's good. It's good. So confusing indeed. So, HGT, they will first pick Invoker. Initial bans looking fairly straightforward, like in an Ancient Apparition banned out by TongFu, and Bat Rider Centaur actually banned out by HGT. So that leaves in a couple scary heroes. The Naga Siren is one, Ember Spirit is another, and lo and behold, TongFu will pick up the Ember Spirit, but you know, I don't know about this. First pick Wraith King. Roland, what do you think about first pick Wraith King? It didn't work, well, no, I guess it did work okay last game for HGT, but what is this meta? First pick Wraith King? What's going on here? What is going on? Well, that's true. HGT did do well with it in game one, but the issue is that's something that Ben likes to talk about a lot. Is it's never a good sign when a team loses to a hero that they're not really comfortable with, and they go, "Oh crap, that hero's really strong. We better play him now." That's usually a sign that you might need to go back to the drawing board with your drafting. Yeah, Roland's a TongFu hater. They don't have a solid plan according to the man behind the curtain here. Um, But I don't know. I mean, I wonder if I have to imagine it'll be a carry Wraith King. I don't know why you would first pick a support Wraith King. To be fair, K-pop Tosis was telling me how good Wraith King is, and I told him he was silly. But maybe Brian's actually just ahead of the meta here. But I don't know. Yeah, Sniper. Maybe he's coming next. The thing about Wraith King, it feels like now that teams have figured out kind of the core item path that works well on him, he's a little better. I mean, it seems like Armlet, core item. He has the Vampiric Aura, which helps deal with the damage over time, and the Mjolnir, just an item that works so well with him. You kind of, it makes him extra potent when you focus him down, gives him some huge damage output. And the Blink Dagger, that's really the new core item that when we first started seeing Wraith Kings, they weren't getting positioning tools, and it seems like you need something to get that Wraith King all up in your business. HGT, though, this is like a flip-flop of last game. TongFu picked Axe as their position 1, and now HGT will second pick Axe, presumably for their position 1 as well. It's like they took the meta book and just threw it out the window and said, you know what, guys, let's start fresh tonight. Mind games. That's right, Roland. Mind games indeed. So, third and fourth bands. Let's see. Dazzle and Darkseer. TongFu, they need some supports here. I have to imagine Rasta is something they're considering. They're on Dire side as well, so I would actually be surprised if they pass up the Rasta. They could also grab a Rubik. Those are the two supports that come to mind, and okay. Well, we should look at that one. That's what we're streaming. We've got a little delay on the picks here. Roland and I have the inside information, and wow, the bets for IGEG 48 to 52. It's a total coin flip, man. Oh boy. So yeah, TongFu, they need supports of some sort, and they will settle on that third pick Rubik. So a little bit of just choice there. What are they more comfortable with? Rasta on Dire, though, he really is just so much more potent. Like any opportunity to get Roche, even if you just get like a pick off after the 10-minute mark, you just take that Rasta into the Roche pit if you have wards up. That's a free Aegis, and it doesn't really get much easier than that. HGT may opt for a third pick roster here because they need some supports themselves. Oh yeah, that's an interesting point as well. Yeah, looking at the Chinese stream, they've got their giant mini map here where they're trying to predict where players are going to go, and they've got Axe slated as a position 1. That's exactly where we saw him in the last game, and I don't know. Do you need last time? Let's see. Last game, how did they? Well, it'll probably be Ember Spirit mid though. Well, no, it'll. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. The Wraith King. Yeah, okay, I see. So Roland says that Axe should be in an aggro tri lane here, and mostly because they've got the Wraith King as their position 1. Axe could work pretty well in a tri lane there. I can see it, Roland. I like where you're going with that, and it will be a third pick Visage for HGT. We'll see. Pretty standard support. You can't read too much into the Visage. He is a good aggro tri-lane hero, though. That is one of the things that Visage brings to the table, amongst many other things. In the mid lane, or pardon me, in the mid game, those familiars are quite irritating. But in the early game, especially before the familiars come out, he is very bursty and just an absolutely fabulous tri-lane hero. Yep, that's a fair point. HGT, they know themselves some Wraith King, so you know, all things considered, they should have a pretty good handle on some of his weaknesses and how to shut him down. Yeah. Yeah, they could call an audible here. It will be, I mean, yeah, you're right. They could put a safe lane Invoker. That's one of the great things about the first pick Invoker is you think of him as a mid hero, and that's really where he shines, but you can switch it up. You can put him in the safe lane. It's still kind of hard to read exactly how HGT want to lane this. They could put Invoker mid, put Axe in the safe lane, and put the supports in the jungle. They could go aggro try, put Invoker mid, and then just grab a solo safe lane hero. Or they could even put Invoker in the safe lane, grab themselves a mid hero, and then do an aggro try. So this is a very difficult lineup to try and predict how they want to lane it. Now, TongFu will fourth pick the Mirana, which makes things even more interesting here. I wonder how they're going to lane this as well. Who's their off laner? Is it a support Mirana, a tri-lane based around the Wraith King, Rubik, Mirana, and they'll grab an off laner here with their fifth pick, or they could get another support and off lane the Mirana. This is just not an easy draft to read at all for on any side of the coin here, Roland. Both sides with a lot of flexibility. I do like the choice to grab Lion by HGT, though. They could have a really scary aggro try. Yeah. Ah, okay. So, yeah, yeah. So, Puck will be the final ban from TongFu, and it looks like they think it will be a safe lane Invoker, so they'll ban out a mid hero. Though, even though we've seen Puck outside of that mid roll a little bit here as well, and I'm still trying to balance this audio. I think my mic is not positioned quite properly here. Looking at my bars, and people be twisting knobs, and yeah, I think my audio should sound good. I feel like it's at my, well, maybe not. I think we're good. Yeah, whatever. Fuck it. So, all right, Timbersaw, the final choice here for TongFu. HGT banned out the Clockwork, so trying to force Mirana into that off lane, but TongFu aren't having it, and it will be a support Mirana with the off lane Timbersaw. And oh boy, this draft just keeps getting more and more interesting here. Now, HGT, I don't want to spoil it. We're going to be patient here. This is craziness. It'll be a Lifestealer final pick for the Hyper Glory team. So they're going to switch things up. It will not be that position 1 Axe. It looks like it'll be Axe in the mid lane. And it will be a tri-lane with the Lifestealer. Probably. So, Invoke, does that mean they're going to be forced to aggro try with a Lifestealer, which is not ideal. Not the worst thing ever, but yeah, they do still have a lot of burst with the line in the Visage. It's still a pretty solid tri-lane. But, wow, very interesting here. Not the way I thought these final picks would come about. And let's see, XTT. Is this an off-lane Axe? Are they doing things even weirder than we thought they would? Wow, maybe they will. This is completely different. So, It'll be Kaka in the solo mid role playing on the Invoker. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, TongFu will do. So TongFu will be the ones to do the aggro try here. Oh, wow. All right, let's introduce these rosters and we'll talk about these lanes. It'll be on the Radiant side. Used to be hard to get together. Now Hyper Glory team will be Pretty Hall playing on the support line here in the safe lane. ZSMJ will be on the position 1 Lifestealer in the safe lane as well. That'll be S on the support Visage. Kaka, solo mid Invoker. First point sitting into Quas. Probably a Quas Wex Invoker, but may transition into Exort, and it will be an off-lane Axe, played by XTT. And this, I would normally say, maybe not the best idea, but up against a solo Timbersaw, looks like HGT will read these lanes quite well. And on the dire side, it will be TongFu. They are the team down 0-1 in this best-of-2 series. It'll be MT on the solo safe lane Timber. In the mid, it will be U9 playing on the solo Ember Spirit, and that means they'll have an aggro try, and look at this positioning. Q on the Rubik, sorry, Fox on the Wraith King, and it will be XBG playing on the Mirana in the support role. Very interesting. I would not have guessed that they would aggro try here, but this is a pretty solid aggressive try lane. They've got 3 stuns across the board. Pretty easy setup for the arrow, and ooh, they might bump into someone. Hastrun on the line, and we'll move into a pause. Roland, prepare yourself for translating. Maybe not. So interesting. I'm trying to think about who has the advantage here in this tri lane on tri lane. Visage is kind of like the best tri lane hero because of the soul assumption, but go. Yeah. So anytime there's a Visage in a tri lane, I think they have an edge. And given that there's a Lifestealer, he's got the Rage. That will help deal with the massive amounts of crowd control that TongFu can put out, but I worry that he won't be able to get the Rage off in some of these cases because the telekinesis is instant cast and then you've got so much follow-up. He'll have his work cut out for him. Yeah, line with the level 1 Hex will make things a little bit more difficult here, but we'll resume, and this bottom lane should be where most of the action comes out. Pressure on TongFu a little bit to pick up some kills here and there. Aggro tri lane. In the mid, Kaka should be able to fare pretty well against this Ember Spirit. Ember off to the races to grab a couple of last hits early on here, 3-0. But Invoker should be able to hold his own, especially once he gets those first few levels up. And up here in the top lane, Axe, he should have a really good time against Timbersaw. This will be the most difficult lane, I think, for TongFu by far. Axe is just so good in a solo role, really against any melee hero. You just can't tango with him. You have to come up to the creeps the last hit, and anytime you do, yeah, that's true. Timbersaw does a lot of damage to strength heroes, but I don't know. I think Axe still has the edge here. For now, at least, yeah. Alright, Roland thinks Timbersaw will take over once they get a few more levels down. We'll see, but we see Axe just zoning him out here. The problem is, once you get close to the creep wave, Axe just right-clicks you, the creeps aggro onto him, and you're getting free Calling Blades. Of course, now one of the problems here for Axe and why Timbersaw is pretty well suited to deal with this. One, the Whirling Death, it has that stat reduction, which is great against strength heroes in general. The primary reason that Timbersaw is considered the counter to strength core lineups, but also the reactive armor. He should be able to keep that stacked up. That'll add some armor, and of course, the counter helix is actually physical damage. So, of all the melee heroes that tango with the Axe, Timbersaw should be okay. Pretty Hall, double damage rune rotating to the mid. This is going to be your first blood coming out, and U9 will fall. Lion picks up that bonus gold, and he will finish him off. Poured in from the Rubik. Kaka will stand his ground, and that's a cold snap. This Rubik, that'll just be a feed. And oh boy, Pretty Hall comes in. That'll be an easy KS with that double damage, and it looks like Kaka U9 will port back in, but HGT, what a great start. That's a value double damage rune there. Nice rotation from the Lion. The first gank, easy peasy, just catching the Ember Spirit off guard. There is no dire vision down here at the bottom rune, so had no idea it was a double damage. You probably should have called it out. Nope, no courier. Oh, on the Radiant side. Did it? Yeah, it certainly did. I didn't even notice, Roland. Good idea. It looks like his bottle was on the courier. That's unfortunate. Invokers. It was the Radiant courier. Or pardon me. He bought something. Or his boots. Why can't I open the courier, Roland? I don't think I have that hotkey. I tried to bind it and I couldn't find it. Whoa, what a rage. What a rage. Yeah, how did I miss that courier get picked off? That's embarrassing. Well, they make up for it though. The first blood more than enough to make up for it. That Rubik port though, that was just embarrassing. That was just far from ideal. Why did I think Invoker was getting a bottle rolling? Jesus Christ! I need more coffee. I need breakfast. Rolling. There better be eggs and bacon prepared after this game. I need some protein so my brain can start working properly. This is just too much going on. We need without Brian here, we lost our house chef. He's K-pop Tosis is in Kiev with Merlini and LD right now, and he's the one that does all of the cooking. So we're all in shambles here. We've got to fend for ourselves. It's been nothing but Pete. Actually, Roland did make a delicious. I don't even know. We went to the grocery store and Roland says, "Is there anywhere that I can buy pig's stomach?" And we found something. We found some sort of pig pieces, and he made a delicious meal. But ZSMJ, he'll take a Wraithfire Blast. The follow-up's not there, and Lion comes in with an Impale. And actually, sorry Fox, he'll take an Open Wounds, and a surprising amount of damage coming out. The follow-up just isn't there though. Unfortunately, the Visage not in a good position. Things looking fairly even up top. Axe. What's his... Oh, are we going to see an engage now? Last hit... actually, Axe is to the last hit leader, so 5 up on the Timbersaw. Not too bad. But, I don't know. Roland Axe seems to be doing pretty well. Even now, level 5, level 6 coming out. He's holding his own here. Timbersaw actually out-leveling him just a little bit, but nothing too crazy. That's actually a good question. Neither of them really scale that well with items. I guess the Axe is more. Like the question is who scales better with items, the Axe or the Timbersaw? And I guess it's really the Axe. Timber is one of those heroes. That's what makes him so powerful. Is he gets Bloodstone, he tanks up a bit, but he does an absurd amount of damage right around that like level 10, level 11 mark with virtually no items. Axe. He can do some damage without items, but he needs a blink. He needs something to keep him alive, whether it's a Vanguard, whether it's an early Blade Mail. I think Axe is, maybe he doesn't scale better with items, but he's more reliant on items to make plays happen. So he is doing very well up top, though. Now 28 last hits compared to the 20 of Timbersaw, so he really is pulling ahead in this lane. Courier, there we go. Those are the phase boots, not that bottle, that dirt moment that Zayori was having there. And Kaka, he could be under pretty heavy pressure. Mirana looking to line up the arrow, hiding in the trees. Has a pretty good angle here. Maybe if U9 can connect with a Bola, can make for an easy arrow. But Kaka, he is going Quas Wex. He's cruising around. He's speedy. Haste Rune, speaking of speed, will go the way of the Ember Spirit. He bottles it up. Mirana, they scoot to the mid. Mirana, he wants the arrow, but very patient. This is some serious patience here from XBG. Here we go. Arrow flies. Oh, just off the mark as the Invoker ports top. That's so unfortunate. Looking for a gank here onto the Timbersaw and MT. Yeah, they're privy to it. And will be unsuccessful. So a bit of a wasted TP from Kaka. That probably would have been a kill if that arrow had connected. And that was just a bit unlucky. Oh, boy. Missed opportunity there for TongFu. And that actually really hurts. Not because they didn't kill the Invoker, but because Mirana just wasted so much time sitting in the trees. Yeah, he's back already, though. Ember, yeah, he got about a wave's worth of XP. Sorry, Fox. He'll get initiated upon. He'll get hexed up after the open wounds come out. And, here we go. Pretty Haw. He's in some trouble as U9 comes in. Flame Guard doing just too much damage. Double Bowl has come out. That's a dead line. It'll be a dead Visage as well. Easy 2 for nil. 1 kill going the way of the Ember. 1 the Rubik. And TongFu will tie it up now. 2 apiece. Great rotation from the Ember. And they catch the hyper aggression from HGT. With a haste rune on as well. No way those 2 supports were going to survive. And ends up being 2 easy kills. Yeah, nice rage from ZSMJ right there. That'll be a level 5 Wraith King. And, no. Looking at last hits here, Wraith King. He's only got 16 CS on the board compared to the 36 of the Lifestealer. Holy jeez. TongFu are getting way out-farmed in that bottom lane. And, wow. Even though they pick up 2 kills there, that doesn't really make up for that disparity in form. 1,500 gold, 2,000 experience going the way of the Radiant side. Meanwhile, up top, yeah, that'll be a dead Timbersaw. He'll get decapitated here by XTT as he uses that Culling Blade, but nice rotation from the supports make it a pretty easy kill. And that'll push HGT a little bit further in the lead. Yeah. There. ZSMJ. There's plenty of crowd controls. He'll get telekinesed. He'll get the Infest Bomb off back to full health. And maybe he can turn it around here. They burned their crowd controls. No, he'll just go back to farming. Nicely done by the Lifestealer, showing us what he's all about. Getting on that ghoul. Beautifully done. HGT are just winning every lane right now. We'll see U9 do a bit of damage to the Invoker in the mid, but they're just out. They're frankly just out farming them. Axe is our last hit leader with 50 CS. We've got the Lifestealer with 47, and then in the mid, it's pretty much a wash. 38 on Kaka, 36 on the Ember Spirit. It's just ridiculous. HGT are just straight up winning these lanes here, Roland. And the big one is this Sorry Fox. He is just he's only level 5. He's got 20 CS. He's just done so little. 0, 0, and 0. He needs to do something to start having an impact here in this game. Oh, up top, they'll engage on old Timbersaw once again. That's a Finger of Death to finish him off. Axel will be the one to actually get credit for the kill, but Finger doing the bulk of the damage here. He'll take a Wraith Fire Blast inside of the tower. That'll slow him up. But Sorry Fox just won't have enough to pursue. Doesn't have that gap closer that we've talked about. Blink Dagger out on the Axe already. He'll blink into the trees. Invoker joining the party. EMP off the mark. They're looking for Lion. They'll find him. And that's one dead Tuna. Hook him. Gut him and finish him. There you go. That's going to make it a 1 for 2. Visage? Where did he die? No, Visage. He just respawned. Somebody killed Visage. I can't keep it straight, man. How did Visage die right there? He died to the Mirana. I guess he just died up top. Just tunnel visioning. Jesus, dude. So, it's tied up 4-4 here, and still favoring HGT, though. The kill score is just a little bit misleading. 2,000 gold, 3,000 experience. That's a pretty decent lead for 10 minutes in, especially given that it's tied up and no towers have fallen. That advantage is just from raw CS. Just straight HGT doing a better job in these lanes, finding better farm. And what's important is they have the farm on the heroes that matter. Visage, he's pretty close to level 6, and that is a big milestone. All the supports pretty comparably leveled, hovering around that level 5, level 6 mark. But HGT haven't even really come online yet. You know, Mirana's sitting level 5 when she hits 6. Not that big of a deal. Visage, on the other hand, he becomes a different hero once those familiars come out. Smoke from TongFu in their jungle. We'll see where they want to go. It looks like they will rotate towards the mid lane here. I think they want to try and set up a kill. Onto Kaka. Nope, they're going to rotate onto the Visage. There we go. Familiars coming out. And this will be a 4-man rotation. And, well, Visage just gets melted. He'll keep his familiars alive, and at least he got them onto the field before he went down. They will probably transition this into a tower push. It is a 5-man rotation from TongFu. Yeah, but at least the familiars are on the field, so Visage is dead, but he can still stun him up a bit with that gargoyle form. A 2-man tornado. EMP, a poor leap from Mirana. And she'll just fall to the EMP. The familiar's doing a little bit of extra chip damage there as well. And, well, that's going to be a pretty easy defense. That's the power of the Quaswax Invoker. And nice familiar stun coming in. And maybe they can make something happen here. Sorry Fox does have an ultimate. They'll pick up a kill onto Axe, it looks like. They'll also get a kill on Timbersaw as he falls. Sorry Fox just about to go down. That'll proc his ultimate. Kaka taking heavy damage as well. Ember Spirit will be able to finish him off. Ember Spirit pressing forward here, looking for a kill on the line. He'll reinitiate with the Fire Remnant. And TongFu, they'll clean it up. That's a triple kill coming out for U9. And they'll make it a 1 for 3 following that kill on the Visage. So kind of a 1 for 4 if you want to count that initial pickoff. And HGT just not making the defense they were looking for. That graph will now dip into the favor of TongFu just a bit here. And Familiars coming in. They'll stun him up. Trying to buy more time. Visage doing a good job. He'll rotate into the tower as well. Axe now respawning. They'll have that TP up in just a moment. And they will hold this tower. So not all hope is lost for HGT. Could be worse. Lifestealer not going hand to Midas. Picked himself up that Helm of Iron Will. So just going for fast, I was going to say a fast Orchid. He's going for a fast Armlet here. Arrow flies, long range, connects with the Axe. But follow-up won't be there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now HGT will press forward, and it's actually the Lifestealer chipping into this tower. They'll do a little bit of counter push action. That seems to be the name of the game in this series, Roland. One team pushes, they wipe them up, and then they counter push, and it doesn't work out, and then they counter push, and it's just back and forth until one team runs out of buybacks or runs out of gold. And TongFu, they'll just rotate mid. They'll sacrifice the top tier 1 tower and try and transition into a mid tier 1 push, but there's a glyph available for HGT. They have a couple of TP scrolls hiding in the inventories. And they should be able to make a rotation here. Axe has the
Radiant's
Blink
middle
Dagger,
tower
surprise
is
inside
under
and
attack.
smoked up. He'll be able to rotate to the mid with plenty of time to spare. And TongFu, they won't be able to knock down a tower, and the way they position themselves just kind of ends up being a free tower going the way of HGT. That'll be enough gold for Armlet to come out onto the Life Stealer. And looking at core items on TongFu, not a hell of a lot. They've got 3 sets of arcane boots. Maybe a bit of overkill here. HGT with no arcanes themselves. One up on the Timbersaw and some up on the Marana as well. Axe with a very aggressive positioning. He could get sandwiched here. He is in the danger zone. He'll have forward. There's the call on to Marana. Surprise inside pops out. That's a dead Priestess of the Moon. They'll just retreat outside of the tower. U9 coming in on that Ember Spirit. Sleight of Fist. No bolas coming out. TongFu, they will hold the tower, but they lose their support Marana. And HGT, they just make it a quick 1-0. Now they'll start chipping away at this tower. ZSMJ in the front lines. Not a care in the world. Level 4 Rage. He is ready. And Axe with that early Blink Dagger, man. Boy, is it potent. Force Staff now up on the Invoker, so Kaka a little bit more mobile. Throws out the Tornado, just harassing back the Wraith King.
Dyer's
And we'll
middle
see this
tower
tower
is
take
under
some pretty
attack.
heavy pressure. Glyph comes out for
Radiant's bottom
TongFu.
tower is
They want to
under
make a
attack.
hold. Looks like, did Ruba steal a Cold Snap? He sure did. Familiars. We'll find some stuns. The SMJ, he's taking some pretty heavy damage here. He needs to be a little careful. Arrow flies off the mark. EMP comes in. Tornado flies as well. U9 completely out of mana. Oh, stolen Tornado from the Rubik. Jesus. Kaka, he's in some trouble though. He'll be the first to fall on this reinitiation. Tower still out of deny range. Marana gets picked off. Lion will finish him off. ZSMJ, very aggressive positioning here. Now Axe coming back in. That's a Berserker's call. They still get the kill on Lifestealer. Nice impale from Axe, but just not enough. And that will be a 1-for-2. Marana fell again. But HGT lose their Lifestealer. Certainly not the ideal exchange they were looking for. And of course, tower's still standing, just barely out of deny range. So a cute little hold from TongFu right there. I still wonder, the positioning on that Lifestealer was a little bit intense. Took a few more tower shots than necessary there, I think. But that's all right. Could be worse for HGT. The biggest problem for TongFu is even though they've been making decent holds at these towers, they've been moving around the map, they can't transition these successful fights into anything. Yeah, they've got no push. Top tier 1 tower still standing. Even this tier 1 mid, they rotated and sacrificed their top tier 1 to put some pressure on this tower, and they've only got it at about half HP. So even though HGT didn't find the better of the fight, they're still in a pretty good position here. And this Lifestealer went much more of kind of a mid-game oriented early fighting build, with the Armlet probably just going to move into Drum of Endurance next with that Bracer. HGT, they're committed to this tower. They know there's no glyph available, and they'll finish it off. Invoker gets the last hit, and Tornado flies to zone out the Marana. Timbersaw with a double damage here at the 16-minute mark. Not even a bottle in the inventory right now, so he'll just pick it up and just cruising around. Timbersaw rather underfarmed right now. That is one of the big disparities in this game. Axe just completely whooping him in terms of farm and item progression. Other big item pickups, Ember Spirit. Nothing too crazy. Going a standard build. Phase boots, into Drum of Endurance, early bottle, and 1,700 gold. I reckon he'll be grabbing a Battle Fury in this game, but could get himself the Desolator. A lot of options. Smoke here for TongFu. They could just smoke into Roche. Not the best Roche team, though. No minus armor, so looking doubtful. Wraith King with an odd build. Haste rolling. Looks like he's going to grab an Armlet and a Hand of Midas, but... Or, yeah, Mjolnir and Armlet, but an odd way of going about it. Yeah, Maelstrom Armlet, yeah. But looks like we'll see them come in here. There's the stolen Tornado. Beautiful Rage coming out from ZSMJ. A big impale as well. That's a dead Rubik. Moonlight Shadow comes out from the Marana. There's the Deafening Blast. This is an utter disaster for TongFu. They'll finish off the Wraith King as well. He didn't have the ultimate up. Almost getting the kill online. They'll have enough to finish him off. Compliments of that Wraith Fire Blast. But now U9, he's in big trouble. He'll fire Remnant back, and looks like he'll have enough to survive. Rubik will buy back. That'll be a 2-for-1, but the buyback really costing them here. A bit premature from Q. Yep, they must have, because he had his ultimate available. He had the ultimate. Yeah, good call. It was just the EMP from Invoker. Yeah. They picked that Wraith King into a first pick Invoker as well. Not a fear in the world. They were like, EMP. Psh, we got this. Or do ya? That's one sure way. That's true. That's a good point, Roland. He does have the Soul Ring to try and counter that. Now, maybe HGT overcommitting. U9 in the front line, but Axe hops forward. He's going to catch the Rubik. Finger of Death. And now, Ember Spirit. He'll get stunned up. He'll be able to fire Remnant around. Nope, he'll finish off the Visage. Uses it aggressively. They lose their line as well as the Ember Spirit. Or pardon me, Timbersaw pops forward. XTT, he's in trouble as well. Gets caught by the Bolas. Buyback now from the Lion. HGT, buybacks all around. Why did he buy back? He can't even TP in. He bought back to run. He's running back. That was a rage TP, or a rage buyback from Pretty Haw. If he could have TP'd in, I could see it. I mean, he will get back to the tower to try and hold, but another EMP comes out onto the Wraith King. Bolas trying to clear up the creep wave here. Hex onto U9. Lion, was I too hard on you? Maybe they'll proc the ultimate. Nope, he'll die to the Ember Spirit. They'll pick up the Lifestealer as well. Now Axe buys back. HGT, what happened? What happened? Visit, it's going to be a dieback. Now the Lifestealer is buying back as well. It's only a tier 1 tower, guys. It's not that big of a deal. You might just want to let it fall at this point. EMP Tornado once again. Rubik gets picked off. Visage, it's going to be a dieback. Now ZSMJ, maybe he'll get this kill on the Wraith King. We've got a Wraithfire Blast in just about 1 second. Taking some tower shots. No way he'll survive this one. He'll fall. Lifestealer gets the kill. I guess the buybacks will be worth it. I mean, that was 1, 2, 3, 4 buybacks used to deny this tower. So at the end, 3 buybacks from HGT, 1 buyback from TongFu. They get the tower denied. They clean up the kills. But now HGT will counter push and probably get this tier 1 tower. Is this Dota? Roland, this is amazing.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Tier 2 Dota. I mean, this is just, the buybacks are what really make it just ridiculous. And here we go. They're going to defend this tier 1 tower. Moonlight Shadow, EMP, they won't get the deny. Invoker secures the last hit on the tower there. The EMP off the mark. Moonlight Shadow still online. But no, HGT will just back out. Cheese and crackers. Maybe another fight breaking out about this bottom rune. Tornado flies, connects on the Ember. Nope, they don't go for it. Wow. Ember will be going the Battle Fury build. Has himself a Perseverance. And just about 500 off that last piece he needs. Or actually, yep, he's got the Broadsword, needs the Claymore. So that'll be a little bit scary. You know what's really scary? A 9, 1, and 7 Ember Spoon. Rubik. He just gets juiced. That's what happens when you've got the surprise inside of an axe. And, well, that delivery vehicle makes it an easy kill. So HGT get another one up on the board. But, dude, this Ember Spirit, he is just fat. He is level 14, 9, 1, and 7. He's been involved in 16 of the 17 kills that TongFu have put up in this game. Absolutely ridiculous. And EG is shit-stomping IG right now. Evil geniuses. So much Dota. Dota! Dota! So this is kind of an odd game here for our game 2 of HGT versus TongFu. HGT have the gold lead here as they have the tower advantage 3-1, but TongFu have the experience edge.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I'm not really sure who's going to come out ahead in this game. Looking at the carry advantage, HGT have the Lifestealer, who is arguably the hardest carry, and they've got the Invoker as kind of like a second core. Axe is kind of a secondary carry, but TongFu, they've got a Wraith King and an Ember Spirit. Yeah, and a Timbersaw is another core, plus the Mirana here. But she's got nothing. She's hard support Mirana. Oh boy, we'll see a big clash here. Both teams will smoke up. XBG and Rubik, they'll be the first to fall. Great initiation from HGT. They'll find a kill on the Wraith King. That'll proc the Aegis. And now the setup. Ember Spirit, he comes forward, finishes off the Visage, but he'll get fingered straight up. Using those Fire Remnants aggressively, he falls. Lion, he gets picked off. But TongFu, they're in big trouble. They're on the defensive. That's a Timber Chain back. Sorry, Fox. He's certainly going to fall here. Trying to toggle that armlet, but it won't be enough. And that will be a 2 for 4. HGT coming out way ahead. Timbersaw, the only one to survive, compliments of that Timber Chain. So just such an awkward position here, but TongFu, they had a ward down. They should have. They kind of saw it coming. They swung up on the high ground here, and HGT, they were already gearing up to come up the high ground. Revealed it straight away and just found a better initiation with that blink on the axe. So now an armlet up on the Lifestealer, has himself the Basher. Invoker, he's just pulling up that gold, sitting in the on the savings right now, about 5,000. He's now #1 on net worth. Axe, he'll just go Ag Scepter. Wants to lower that Culling Blade cooldown a little bit. He's going to be dunking all over the place. Slam dunk the funk. Visage just sitting on a medallion. Now on the dire side of things, well, Wraith King, he's got himself an armlet. No Maelstrom quite yet. Anything sitting on the courier? No. His farm is definitely starting to fall off a bit. About 6.7k compared to the 9.1 of the Lifestealer. And there's that Ags. Now up on the axe. Timbersaw working on that Bloodstone. Still a little ways off the mark. Not a very timely Bloodstone here for MT. He's got the Soul Booster and one of the Perseverance pieces. So he's not too far off the mark, but about 800 gold to go. And the problem is he's just not farming very much. He's got nowhere to farm. Here at the mid lane, but has to give the bulk of the map farm here to the carries. Battle Fury now up on the Ember Spirit. I feel like part of the problem with TongFu this game is they've been playing this Ember Spirit. He's picked up a lot of kills, but they've been playing him kind of like a man mode hero. And that's been working for them so far in these team fights because HGT have been so aggressive and kind of been in these awkward positions where U9 has positioned himself with the Remnants to have a reset and then come back in. But going this Battle Fury build, he's very squishy. And the tankiness you get from those drums starts to become a moot point right around this time, that 25-30 minute mark. And unless he just sits back and spams that Sleight of Fist, HGT should be able to pick him off pretty easily in these fights. Now, Axe with an invisibility rune on. And does have the surprise. Hiding inside. That Infest Bomb ready and waiting. Fresh Ag Scepter ready to rock and roll. He's just looking for an opening here. XBG stationed about the trees. Looking for an arrow perhaps. Also, there's a Scythe of Ice on the Invoker. Oh. So we did finally spend that gold, and that's pretty big for HGT. Don't want to say they were really lacking in the crowd controls, but having another one will certainly help. Top tier 1 tower falls to this Siege Creep. Pretty Hall will whiff the deny here. So a small little gold boost going the way of TongFu, but HGT still holding on to a gold and experience edge here. Small ancient stack for TongFu. They will clear it out. And, yep, there's your Maelstrom coming out on the Wraith King. Blink Dagger for the Lion on the side of HGT. So core items coming out of plenty. Both sides. Continuing to find progression, but I think the Radiant are definitely getting the edge on the item front. Bloodstone also up on Timbersaw, but now he's down to Brown Boots. And Timber, one of these heroes, like I said, he does a lot of damage without items. And the Bloodstone is definitely good. Once you have those 8 charges, you really want to try and pick up some kills. The worst case scenario is getting Bloodstone and dying right after. And just feeding away some of those charges. That's when Timbersaw starts to fall off. And the Bloodstone can be a little bit of a double-edged sword if you're not careful with it. Sunstrike. Just scouting it out. Cheeky play from the Invoker. Recognizing that TongFu are missing off the map, probably in the Radiant jungle. Does catch wind of the Rubik there. Oh, using Quaspex Invoker, using the Sunstrike as a scouting tool. I like it. Just a cute little caca play right there. GG. EG beat IG. Oh, I see Charlie there. Look at him. Look, there's your boy Charlie. Well done. EG. Uh-oh, here's the initiation. They'll find the Timbersaw. They've got a lot of damage. Arrow flies. Will hit the Lifestealer, but he has Rage on. He'll be A-OK. Moonlight Shadow flies. Timbersaw does fall to the Lifestealer. A great way to start off this fight for HGT. Do they have detection here? Looks like they do. Marana, she'll get decapitated. See you later. I don't know where the... Oh, they had dust. There you go. Yeah, no gem quite yet. But that'll be a 2-for-0 in the Radiant jungle. And just 2 great kills coming out for HGT. Timbersaw's a great hero to shut down first. I was just mentioning, worst case scenario, you get your Bloodstone and die. Exactly what happened to MT there. Now down to 5 charges. Still has room for some recovery, but bad news bears for the Timbersaw. And a good bit of momentum for HGT. Lifestealer now with 2,700 gold. If he wants that Abyssal Blade, he'll have it before too long. And they will back out. Axe. Well, not too much else in the way of item progression since we last checked in. HGT are just being patient here. I mean, and they can be. They know they have map control. They've been finding the better of these exchanges. Not really on them to make these kills happen, but Ember Spirit. He's in trouble, or is he? Nope, he had a Fire Remnant way back. I have to say, U9 has been doing a great job with these fire remnants. He constantly keeps one in a defensive position here. Always has one so that he has an escape. That would have been an easy kill. A lesser Ember Spirit would not have been ready for that. But he scoots back in the nick of time, and now Pretty Haw. He could be in some trouble here. Telekinesis might be on the mark. Oh, he throws the finger as well. Does a lot of damage to the Rubik. Just trying to soften him up. He will blink back. Finds his teammates. He is now completely out of mana, though. And the nice thing about blowing that finger is now Rubik is pretty much out of this fight. All 5 from both sides will rotate towards the top lane. And potential to be a big skirmish here. In the front lines, it is the Invoker. Ghost walking forward. Looking to catch perhaps the Mirana. No Moonlight Shadow. And there's the Piggy. Oink, oink, oink. Out come the Visage Familiars. That's a dead Priestess of the Moon. Invoker will grab that kill. And again, HGT just rinsing and repeating here. Finding these little pickoffs. At the end of the day, it's only a support Mirana. And they are giving some space as Ember Spirit to farm down bottom. He does have 3,300 gold following that first Battle Fury. So it could be a second Battle Fury coming out before too long. HGT, they just want to be aggressive. They've got the Infest Bomb on Axe, ready to rock and roll once again.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Looks like they'll group up and just press towards
Dire's
this
top tower
Tier 2
is
tower
under
in the top
attack.
lane. Not sure if TongFu are really going to defend this one. They will have a 4-man rotation coming in, and Ember Spirit, he'll have his TP up in 8 seconds. So won't be able to preemptively come back here. But a glyph is available, and I think TongFu can make a hold. HGT won't commit for it either. Very defensive positioning here.
Bottom tower is under
Looking
attack.
for TongFu perhaps to step too far forward. Punish some hyper-aggression, but that won't be the case. Gem now up on the Invoker here, and that'll be a BKB on the Ember Spirit. So he does want to go for more of a man mode, position 1 kind of Ember Spirit style. And can be a little bit of a double-edged sword. Even with the BKB, Ember can survive a bit longer. Not crazy about this build, though. I think BKB is more of a later game item. I think going for a crit next. At this point in the game, even though you have the BKB, Ember still can't really go man mode against the Lifestealer. So the BKB, it just feels like kind of a wasted pickup here. He won't get crowd controlled as much. Wasted pickup probably isn't the right word. That's a bit of an overstatement. But I don't know that it's the ideal second item here. I think going into even just a Crystallis before the BKB, just so they can defend a bit easier, use Ember as their turtler, and just spam hard. Even a second Battle Fury in a crit before the BKB can be the way to go. Give you that huge edge in the mid game, then in that late game, where they have the blinks all over the place, you're getting initiated upon, then you grab that BKB, so that you can stop them from hopping on you. He will play it safe, though, at the cost of doing more damage. HGT, look at this positioning here. They're setting the trap in the top lane, but their efforts will just be unsuccessful. TongFu are not walking by that path. Oh, maybe I'm speaking too soon here. U9, he scoots up. Oh, here we go. I spoke way too soon. They'll catch him. That's a Hex. That's a Cull. Easy kill on the Ember Spirit. A risky proposition to set 2 heroes on a trap like that, but they will be rewarded. Now Wraith King, he's taking mad right clicks from this Lifestealer. They'll lose the Tier 1 tower in the mid lane. Wraith King gets the last hit. He'll fall. That'll proc the ultimate. But HGT, they're in position. Hex from the Invoker. That'll catch the Wraith King. This will be a kill right here. Nothing he can do about it. It'll be a 2-for-0 across the map. Invoker, Tornado flies. Almost catching the Timber Saw, but he will Timber Chain back. Arrow, off the mark. HGT, they want to pursue, but they're low on mana, and they won't find anyone. They do find a Stray Ward here, compliments of that gem on the Invoker. Same story, different chapter here for HGT, just continuing to find great exchanges. They trade a Tier 1 tower in the mid for the 2 carry heroes of TongFu, and they will be able to grab a Tier 2 tower here in the mid lane to follow it up. Alacrity now out on the Lifestealer. Oh boy. Looks like he won't go for that Abyssal. Just Hyperstone Plate Mail. Assault Cross coming out next. Visage will rotate top, finish off that Tier 2 tower. So that's a huge bit of momentum here. We'll see that gold graph just jump in favor of the Radiant. And now an Assault Cross actually complete on the Lifestealer. Great news. For HGT, that is. Now TongFu up against the ropes a little bit. Mech has come out onto the Timber Saw. So that'll help him tank up a little bit, but still sitting on only 5 Bloodstone charges. He has been able to avoid death, but not enough. And with the Berserker's Call as well as the Hex. I just don't like this BKB on Ember. It just feels lackluster. He had it in that last engagement, and they were still able just to crowd control him down and cull him before the BKB could even become a factor. Not crazy about it. Visage also not too far off the mark for his Ag Scepter. Just about 700 gold or so until he can grab that Blade of Alacrity and finish her off. TongFu clearing out the Ancients. Rubik working on that Force Staff. Uh-oh. The classic double sentry strat here, a.k.a. miscommunication. But unfortunate for TongFu. But at the end of the day, just a wasted sentry. Not too big a deal. And again, Wraith King, now he's going to go BKB. And it's one of those kind of, like, sheepstick versus BKB. They sort of counter each other. Whoever uses their item first kind of wins that one. So with a double BKB, it makes things a little more difficult. Invoker will have to make that executive decision. Who do I hex? Who do I let just run amok with a BK Bizzle? But I don't know. Against an Axe, against a Lifestealer, it's just not a big BKB game. Hey, Roland. You ready for a mechanics question? Are you up to snuff? How does Axe's ultimate interact with BKB? Just cuts straight through it? Does it only work if you're below the threshold for the kill, or does it just straight up... It's magical damage. So if you're below the threshold, it kills you, but if you're not below the threshold, it doesn't do anything. Okay, I got it. So, Axe is a good hero to deal with BKBs. That's the moral of the story. In a way, kind of. But if you're below, so if you're below 450 hit points and you have a BKB on, Axe will still poop down your throat. Okay, alright, got it. That's what I thought, but it's sort of a Culling Blade is just one of those weird abilities. It's just strange. It has an odd interaction with other items in the game. Yeah, alright, yeah, you can look it up, but yeah, no, that makes sense just based on the way the ability is. So, oh, here we go. Speaking of Axe, he'll hop forward. He'll catch Sorry Fox with the call. He's got a BKB, but won't be able to use it. They'll drain his mana. That's a dead Wraith King with an ultimate still available. Axe showing off his BKB now. They want to finish off their Mirana. They'll lose their Visage as well as their Lion, compliments of that Ember Spirit. Sort of an awkward fight here, but now Timbersaw, he'll get caught by the Berserker's call, and that'll be a dead Ember. Why did I say Ember? I meant to say Timber. Too many ers. So a 2 for 2, but HGT, they trade their supports for a Wraith King as well as the Timbersaw. So yeah, Roland confirms Axe good hero against BKB. But it's more it's honestly that Scythe of Ice is doing more against this BKB than anything else. That Wraith King, he's got a 10-second BKB. That fight, blink forward, Hex, EMP, Cull, dead. Didn't even use his ultimate. Wraith King just got completely shut down. Yeah. Dude, they've got a double Hex between the Lion as well as the Invoker, and they just can't handle it. Yeah, they didn't even need the call to finish him, I don't think. They just straight killed him. Oh, boy. Wraith King just getting straight countered here. Like you're talking about, HGT, they know the counters. And they feel pretty comfortable with this Invoker. Yeah, for sure.
Double damage.
So kind of an odd fight here. Timbersaw, once again, he just can't keep these Bloodstone charges. He's down to 4, and uh-oh, Rubik. He'll get caught in a Tornado. Impale, that'll be off the mark, but he'll try and TP out, and that'll be a wasted TP scroll and to death. Roland's cackling like a schoolgirl over here. It was an unfortunate play. I'm not really sure what the... Just why waste the TP scroll there? Like, there's just no escaping that one. But, yeah. Double damage on Invoker as well. So now HGT, they'll just move into the Roche pit. Yeah, he's got himself the Yules. So Yules out on the Timbersaw, and Lifestealer, what are you working on? Oh, wait, that's an Abyssal Blade. And they'll just finish off Roshan. Lifestealer will grab the Aegis. Arrow flies into the pit, off the mark. And now TongFu, they're in big trouble. About a 10,000 gold lead, 7,500 experience lead for Hyper, the Hyper Glory team. That BKB. Doing some work. Really, the only thing keeping TongFu in this game right now is this Ember Spirit. He is big. He's now got his Crystallis, and in that last fight, he just straight soloed the supports. I didn't really catch it on camera that well, but he just hopped in and obliterated him. Mirana down bottom, she'll fall. That's easy peasy. Invoker Started off with the Hex and Axe call. This is just a dirty duo. Axe and Invoker. Especially the Quas Wex Axe. They're just, or pardon me, the Quas Wex Invoker. They're just cruising around. Invoker sets it up, makes for easy Berserker's calls, and Axe is there just to seal the deal. They're a match made in heaven. Invoker still using that gem. We'll clear out the wards. Just look at the ward coverage here. Radiant side, they've got bottom rune covered, blocking the Ancients. Ward down in the mid lane, another one in the mid lane as well. Meanwhile, on the Dire side, they have 0 wards down. This gem on Invoker just making it impossible. They have no vision. They can't see a darn thing. TongFu are up against the ropes here, folks.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now Visage Verts just pressing forward into this bottom tier 2 tower. Just doing some of that Visage split pushing here. Up top, MT. He'll pour it out, or will he? He'll get impaled by the Lion. He'll get fingered, and he will fall. Lifestealer now on an unstoppable streak. Meanwhile, down bottom, they'll try and make a hold. Q, he gets caught by the BKB Axe. He'll get called. That's a dead Rubik. Down goes the Visage as Ember Spirit joins the party. Axe forced to back out. Tornado will buy him some time. Moonlight Shadow from the Mirana. TongFu trying to get aggressive, but I don't think they'll find the kills they're looking for. At the end of the day, it will be a 2-for-1 across the map. And again, HGT, they just trade their Visage for a Rubik as well as the Timber Saw. They don't finish off the tower. It is in deny range. Can they grab this Ember Spirit? They need to find a way to kill this Ember. And he'll fire a Remnant to the high ground. U9, he plays a mean Ember. He's very elusive, making it hard to get locked down, but he's their big damage dealer. If HGT can catch him before he BKBs, if they can catch him without buyback, they should be able to easily just press forward and probably break the base.
Thank you.
They still have the Aegis up on the Lifestealer. Again, he's got the Abyssal. Buyback status looking pretty good. Radiant side with a pretty clear advantage in terms of buyback. HGT, or pardon me, TongFu, they've got the buyback on the hero that needs it most, and of course that is the Ember Spirit. Tornado flies into the base. Oh wow, just barely off the mark. HGT. Not sure that they can break the base quite yet though. They really need a pick before it can happen. And there's Axe with the Infest Bomb. Thanks, boss. It looks like we could see a fight break out. TongFu in kind of an awkward position. They need to defend the base, and they're kind of outside, looking to be a bit more aggressive here, perhaps. Timber Saw with a plate mail. Could be working towards a Shiva's. Still not much item progression on the Mirana. And Ember Spirit still just sitting on that Crystallis. 2,600. Axe. Oh, he sees that Wraith King. He wants it. Will he go for it? No, they'll settle for Ruby Tuesday. And Rubik just gets juiced. They throw him in the blender. I'm not sure how a Rubik smoothie tastes, but he will be nothing more than a puddle on the ground. Hearts get together, looking to be in great shape. Fiery Bowl has come out. We'll actually connect on the 2 heroes. Nicely done by U9. But just a minor inconvenience for HGT. There's the Hex onto Wraith King. The follow-up not there. They force out the Glyph straight away. No buyback available for the Rubik. Will be a 5v4 on the field. But HGT, they'll lose their creep wave, and they can't pursue. They can't easily break this high ground. And right now, Mirana pressuring the bottom. Lion ports back, though. Mirana taking tower shots. Whoa! The burst damage from Pretty Haw. That'll be a 5v3 on the field. 4v4, though, in the mid lane, as Lion was forced back. And TongFu, actually a worthy sacrifice. Without the Lion, they know he's out of the battle, and even though it is a kill, training that support Mirana to stop HGT from breaking the base is good news for TongFu. They will be able to easily hold. And at a pretty cheap cost. Now, a 10-second BKB is out on the Invoker. And that has been the last big item pickup. Chakram whirling around. Axe ready to initiate here. He now has a Shiva's Guard himself. And he pops forward. There's the call, pardon me, the Berserker's call onto Starry Fox. He gets hit by the EMP. There's the Soul Ring. We'll have enough for the ultimate. Meteor blocking the screen. Does a lot of damage. BKB pop, but he falls shortly after. Oh no, that's a bit of a wasted BKB charge there for the Wraith King. He'll come right back. He gets hexed up. That's a dead Timber Saw. Right now, ZSFJ just in the front line, zoning out those heroes. That'll be the end of the Wraith King. Just not an ideal time to pop that BKB. It'll end up being a wasted charge. Now this tier 3 is fair game. Arrow flies off the mark. Well, I hold that thought. It does connect on the Visage. Lifestealer still with the Aegis. Stuck in rage. He will just leave his Visage behind. And oh, poor Visage. He'll get picked off. But still, HGT. They take a very convincing team fight. Finish off the tier 3 tower. And they also force a buyback from the Wraith King. I think they could have afforded to stuck around a bit longer. Lifestealer did have the Aegis. I think they probably could have held and helped his buddy Visage. It was just about to expire anyhow. Maybe he lost track of the timer and didn't want to get stuck in that window where he dies right as the Aegis expires, but he will use it as a regeneration rune. Goes back to full health. Not the ideal way to handle that for HGT. I think Lifestealer definitely could have just hopped in and suicided. They wanted to finish him off to proc that Aegis, but it'll work out in the end. Visage a worthy sacrifice. Now a Dust coming out from TongFu. Heart of Tarask up on the Lifestealer. He is fat. About 4,000 gold up on the Ember Spirit in terms of net worth. And Ember does go ahead and finish up his data list. So he is starting to hit pretty hard. He's getting a bit scarier, but still. This Lifestealer is king of the castle right now. And still, I mean, the big problem here is that Lifestealer just can out-man mode the Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit is not a man mode carry. He'll sit back, he'll be looking for those crits, spamming that Sleight of Fist, but when push comes to shove, if Lifestealer gets up in his face, there's absolutely no way he can take the heat. He'll be forced to get out of the kitchen. And once again, Lifestealer infest inside of the axe. Visage now grabbing himself the Vladimir's offering. Courier bringing it on the way, so even more auras here will help out HGT. No glyph for the dire side. They know there's no buyback on Wraith King. He does have his ultimate up, but that didn't stop him from shutting him down last time. Maybe Sorry Fox can find a better use of that BKB. HGT just struggling to find the opening, though. Good positioning from TongFu. Staying inside the base, forcing them to dive the tower. Wait. What tower? Oh. No. HGT just looking for the right opening here. TongFu have that luxury of the Timber Saw, who can clear up the waves pretty quickly, as well as that Sleight of Fist spam. But here we go. U9 pops the BKB. They blink forward. That'll be a dead Ember Spirit straight away. He had no Remnant to hop to. That'll be a dead Wraith King as well. Procs the ultimate. No BKB available. He'll get sheeped up. That's it. This is going to be GG. Nothing TongFu can do here. No buyback on the Wraith King or the Ember. And there you go. Easy peasy. That's exactly what I was talking about with this Ember Spirit. He's scary. He hits hard, but you can't go man mode like that. You got to play defense. You got to sit back. You just can't do it, folks. Ember Spirit 101. If you want to go man mode, he is not the hero for you. Lifestealer will right-click him down. And HGT, they take it 2-0 over TongFu. Roland, nice predictions, my friend. He called it 2-0 HGT. He must be some sort of a prophet. Looking at the stream here. HGT, they don't even look excited. Look at them. They're just like, yeah, we knew we were going to win. No problemo. ZSMJ, he's smiling a little bit, but TongFu, they don't look too downtrodden. They played all right. They played pretty solid. I still question this first pick Wraith King, though. I don't know. They got beat by Wraith King last game, and then they decided to first pick him, and that's never a good plan. Especially if the team that just beat you with him, they know how to counter that hero. They had it ready. They had the Invoker first pick. They picked the Wraith King into a Quaswex Invoker. He got mana burned like a little baby. They said, no, no, no. Yep. So, all right, guys. That wraps up our first Best of 2 series. Now, we've got 2 more Best of 2s coming for WPC Ace tonight. TongFu will be up against CIS coming up next. Then after that, it will be Orange versus Titan. I'm Zyori, slated to solo cast tonight. We've got a lot of BTS content rolling. Star Ladder going on right now, as well as God's covering the inaugural. We'll have a short break here. We'll queue up some tunes, and we'll be coming back to get our next series started. Thank you for joining us, folks. We will be back after a short break.